Imagine bringing together some of the world's most successful motorcycle racing talent for a weekend of racing. Check out these names: Jeff Ward, 7-time AMA national champion and IndyCar race driver; Jeremy McGrath, 7-time AMA Supercross champion and 2-time World Supercross champion; Scott Russell, AMA and World Superbike champion and 5-time Daytona 200 winner; Mark Avard, the wonder from down under, Australian Enduro champion, 4-time gold medalist in the International 6 Days. How about Kevin Schwantz, 500cc World Grand Prix Road Race champion? And last but not least, Mike Metzger, the godfather of freestyle motocross, 3 golds, 2 silvers in the X and Gravity Games. Ward, McGrath, Russell, Avard, Schwantz, and Metzger have all come to Copper Mountain, Colorado to race the Fay Myers Suzuki Supermoto Classic presented by RPM. Welcome to beautiful Copper Mountain, Colorado. We are 2 hours west of Denver, high in the Rocky Mountains. It's summertime and it is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of noise behind me because we are going racing today. Well, this resort is known for its world-class skiing and snowboarding, but today it is motorcycle racing at its best. First of all, we have the heroes of the sport. Second of all, we're racing at 9,700 feet. And third of all, it's a sport called Supermoto, a unique track with unique bikes. For more on the machinery, let's go down to Dave Sadowski.
Okay, let's break down a Supermoto bike. They're 450cc 4-stroke motorcycles. I've chosen the 21 bike of David Sadowski Jr. because I built it. First thing I want to show you is, the first thing that we changed is the wheel size. We've gone from 21-inch rims that come on the bike stock to 17-inch rims. You can run a slick tire. Of course, we hand cut the grooves in it with a hot iron, and you can set any kind of pattern you want in the tire. And also, you can run DOT street tires. Many guys choose one or the other. Next thing we changed is the brake rotor. It goes from 280mm stock to 320. We need the power on the pavement sections because these guys are super biking this bike around. They lift their rear wheels in the air with this powerful caliper. Follow the brake line up to a master cylinder. We put a Superbike master cylinder on it to get as much fluid as we can to that powerful brake. Check this out though. The cool thing about these bikes, we changed the front triple clamps. That's these red pieces right here that holds the front end. It makes it stiffer. These bikes travel over 100 miles an hour and sometimes get pretty hairy through the dirt section. When you hit a rock, it's called a tank slapper. The handlebars swap back and forth real hard. Well, this stabilizer right here has a knob. You can choose from 1 to 6 and it dampens how fast the handlebars will turn back with a hydraulic resistor. Next thing I want to show you is the rear shock. What we've done is we've shortened the suspension. You got to try to get the motorcycle lower. It comes stock with 13 inches of travel. We want to take some of that travel out because you want to get the bike to turn fast left and right. We put a different chain on it, put different sprockets on the back. This bike will reach 130 miles an hour. Supermoto is coming to the United States to stay, and you can't have any more fun than riding a bike like this.
That man right there, Scott Russell, frothing at the mouth to go racing. Yesterday we had a main event, Supermoto. Whole shot going to none other than Jeremy McGrath, number 2 on his machine. McGrath led for a good portion. And then his teammate, it was Jeff Ward that snuck by him. And a battle ensued for the top 3. The best battle was between Jeremy McGrath and Scott Russell. Russell, number 4 on his machine, hounded Jeremy McGrath, number 2. Eventually, it was Ward coming across first, followed by McGrath, then Scott Russell, Mark Avard, and Steve Drew. Right now, let's go down to the 3rd member of our team, Ron Kruk, who's with yesterday's champion.
Jeff Ward, when asked, racing legend Bobby Allison said that his foot does not know his age. Yesterday, your wrist proved that they don't know your age either. You took it to the young guys and got the win.
Yeah, my brain hasn't told my body yet that I'm an old man, so I'm still thinking I can go fast, and apparently I'm going pretty good. So I'm having a lot of fun, and I love being back on the motorcycle. I mean, that's what I grew up on. That's my life, and my kids ride. So the Supermoto series is growing fast, and a lot of interest in it. And so I'm glad to be here, maybe be one of the pioneers of at least one of the guys to start getting it going with the name recognition with Jeremy and Metzger and everybody, and Schwantz and Russell. A lot of great champions in this field, which makes it fun for everybody. We got easy access for the spectators, so I'm having a blast.
Yeah, you have been on fire of late. Let's talk about the track here at beautiful Copper Mountain. Speaking with some of the guys who have taken some laps and practice laps, they said, although the sport is new, this still could be one of the best tracks that they've raced on. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think so far for the venue, everything, it's probably the best that we've had. I mean, a lot faster than what we've been running, which is what I like and which I think what the sport needs. And it's just, I think it's just going to be depending on the venues you go to. You got to do the best with what you got. And this is a beautiful facility up here, and I mean, couldn't ask for a better track and a better place. I'm sure there'll be some other tracks we go to where, you know, you don't like it, but it's the same for everybody, and we can only do with what we got, and you know, it's just going to get better and better, so I'm excited.
All right, Jeff Ward, have fun and good luck today.
All right, thanks.
The Fay Myers Suzuki Supermoto Classic $20,000 weekend, and in order to make some money, you want to qualify. 3 qualifying heat races, top 5 go to the main event. Then there's 2 semifinal races, top 3 transfer to the main event. 21 rider main event, 20 laps, and it should be a thriller once we get everybody sorted out and see who qualifies. The track itself is quite unique. It is a Supermoto track, Ski.
10 turns and 7/10 of a mile. It's 70% asphalt, 30% dirt. There's a dirt section here off of turn 7. There's 2 lines through it, and we've seen all different mixes. There's actually more than 2 lines, but they've set it up that way. Some guys are jumping from the double-double section over to this tabletop. Now take a look into the asphalt section. This is the turn 2 area. Gets really tight here off the start. Up the inside is the place to be, but some guys choose the outside and it sets them up. This is Horsepower Hill. This runs up into the turn 5 area. This is where the Superbike guys and the Grand Prix guys are going to do the best. Off camber, as you head down through turn 6, roll through 4th gear, close to about 75 miles an hour through this turn. A lot of guys that have never dragged their knee before have learned how to do it in this turn. As you head down into a hard braking area and back into the dirt at turn 7, there's a lot of dicing going on there. This is a very important corner, but it's the most beautiful and picturesque thing you can see in motorsports. Guys backing it in there real hard. Here's the double-double and the double tabletop section. There's 2 lines through here. Jeremy McGrath has been doubling the double-double, but jumping over to the, transferring over to the tabletop. A high berm on the outside seems to be the favorite, but the shortest way around is on the inside. It's a risky maneuver to go there, but a lot of guys have chosen it. This is the fast dirt track section, down through turn 9 and 10. You can see the blue groove, as they call it in dirt track racing. Very slippery. You can't make any mistakes through here, but you're running into it about 55 miles an hour. Finally, you drift out. A lot of guys are using the far right, rider's right, to bang off the hay bales, to jump over this little skipper, over a concrete path, back onto the asphalt, and away you go, Superbike road racing again.
And we are ready to go racing. 8 laps, top 5 advance into the main event. This is heat race number 1, and look at the heroes. Starting at the top, it's Jeff Ward. Then we've got Mark Avard and Mike Metzger. Who else? I believe you've got some relatives in there.
Oh, I do. Number 22, my son, 14-year-old Matthew Sadowski. This is going to be a heck of a run here. These guys are very determined to make the main. If you can do it now, you don't have to go to the semis, so everybody's going to be really gritting down hard to try to get this first lap underway. It all happens on the first lap, Dave.
Jeff Ward, Troy Lee Designs, Honda CRF 450. He was the hero yesterday out of San Juan Capistrano, California, 7-time AMA national champion. He's done it all disciplines. He's off, and let's see if he can get the whole shot. And into turn 1, 2, and look how tight it's going to get.
Really tight through this section. There's 2 lines through here. The outside works. If you get set up on the outside, you're set up on the inside for this hard left hairpin. They call this Horsepower Hill, and you'll see why here in a moment. Guys are carrying the front wheel up into this 3rd, 4th gear, down through a chicane here, up into the turn 5 area. This is where the road racers will excel. Looks like we saw Metzger go a little bit wide there, almost got a hay bale. Real high speed up through the top of turn 6. It kind of drops off camber, close to 100 miles an hour before they're hard on the brakes, Dave, down into turn 7.
Top gear, who's going to slide it in? Backing it in. Is that Avard there? We're going to have to take a look. They're really mixing up into the dirt section. They can split. They can go over a tabletop or the double-doubles into 2 berms.
You see Metzger take the inside line, and Jeff Ward having a little trouble. Have a rider down in the middle of turn 8 there on the bank. And that is Mike Hill, who's gone down on the number 7 Honda. Back up front, we have the Michael Metzger chasing the 2. I can't catch the number on that. I believe that is the Josh Chisholm on the 428 machine. And he's got a heck of a first lap completed here. Jeff Ward having a little bit of a fit here. Not as easy for him today as yesterday.
And look at the spectacular view at 9,700 feet. They're trying to get all the oxygen they can into their machines. Josh Chisholm says that after racing yesterday, he needed a couple of deep breaths.
Oh, yeah, up at this elevation, you said 9,700 feet. We have a dice for the lead here, side by side, down into 7, both kicking it out sideways. And we'll see which line is faster here through the turn 8 section. It's going to be Chisholm on the inside with a double-double. And it seems to work. He'll come out in the lead, but it's nearly equal there, the time through that section.
So Josh Chisholm, Honda R&D CRF 450 out of Bakersfield, California, number 428. Keep an eye on him.
The wonder from down under, the 94, chasing Chisholm. Mark Avard. This is a international 6-day enduro champion, so he has all the disciplines worked out on the pavement. Those guys run through any type of conditions, dirt, asphalt. And this is a heck of a battle up front here. Metzger starting to make time on the 2 leaders. Jeff Ward back there in 4th. Very uncharacteristic of him.
Ward was turning in some incredible practice times earlier this morning. But right now, we're keeping an eye on Josh Chisholm, Mark Avard, Mike Metzger, and Jeff Ward.
Josh Chisholm on the dirt digit Honda up front. He's kicking it out a little bit sideways. And now the back bunching up. Big crash right there. Metzger tagging the back of Avard. He goes down in turn 7. Now through the dirt, we're watching Jeff Ward, the number 3 machine. He goes double-double. Metzger backing up underway. He'll pull in behind Troy Lee on the number 25 machine.
Getting restarted. Troy Lee moves in. Let's take a look. What happened here?
This is basically a motocross technique. It's a brake check right in the middle of the corner. You see Chisholm just kind of brake check, and the chain reaction is that Metzger, trying to make up time, punts the back of Avard, and he goes down.
Josh Chisholm, number 428, out of Bakersfield, California, being hunted down by Mark Avard. They call him Frankie, the Pacifico Supermoto team out of Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. And then comes Jeff Ward, yesterday's winner.
Excuse me, Dave, change of position for 2nd place. Now Jeff Ward on the back of Chisholm. And through the fast section, watch Jeff Ward down into the section. Very hard to beat him under braking. This is an IndyCar racer. He knows all about braking. There he goes, right up the inside, drifts out the rear end, going road race style, just a little bit wide. But Ward, he's going to get a challenge. Double-double for Chisholm, double-double for Ward. And on the outside, Avard takes the high bank. We'll see how these 3 guys match up. Chisholm back in the lead.
Chisholm, a motocrosser since 1998, working for Honda R&D development. He's been on bikes a long time. In fact, every day during the week he's racing.
These guys have really got to conserve what they've got going on here for a race. They know that the top 5 will transfer, so they're all solid to make the final as long as there's no incidents on the racetrack. Jeff Ward will probably make a real clean pass. He'll wait on Chisholm till he gets down to that heavy braking section down into turn 7.
This is definitely the battle right now, and in fact, the battle for first is still very important in terms of grid position.
Yes, it is. It'll determine front row start versus 2nd row, and we saw how important it was on the first lap. Josh Chisholm taking advantage of that front row start. Now you see him defending the inside line. Wardy's got to go around the outside. He'll set him up. Now Wardy, a little bump there on the rear tire. See which way they go through this double section. Everybody choosing the double-double section here today. It was different in the first race. So they're trying to figure out the double-double being a little bit faster. It's the shortest way around the racetrack, David.
Here comes Chisholm right now. Chisholm has about 20 Supermoto races under his belt. Ward's got a couple as well. He's got a big one that he won in Laguna Seca. He leads the AMA standings, but right now he wants to lead this race. He's got to overtake the 28-year-old out of Bakersfield, California on the Honda R&D CRF 450. That's Josh Chisholm, our leader. Quite a surprise.
I'm glad you mentioned age. We got to remind them, folks. Jeff Ward on the number 3 machine, 42-year-old, and he's riding motorcycles like he's 19 out here today at Copper Mountain.
Jeff Ward, boy, is he a definitely wonder from down under, but down under from San Juan Capistrano, California, 7-time AMA national champion, 7-time motocross and trophy to nations champion. Look at this.
Whoa, he really kicks it out sideways. It just nails that corner. Chisholm defended the inside. Wardy went over even further. They're both choosing this double-double line for the short berm. A little bit of a stick there for Ward. You see him moving his rear end back on the seat, trying to get these tires to bite. They're on DOT street tires with very little grooves in there. And you see Wardy using body English, trying to get that rear tire to bite into the dirt.
Now, is Ward gone? Is the race over with? It's only 8 laps, top 5, advance to the main. There's really no racing going on for 4th or 5th right now.
Beautiful slide into that section. Into turn 5 here before Horsepower Hill. Take a pan back through the field. Here comes Jake Zemke on the number 8 machine. Dirt tracker gone superbike road racing. Here comes the Mets man, the godfather of freestyle motocross. Nice recovery from him, but he's going to have a hard time making the main.
And back to our leader should be Jeff Ward, 1997 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year, 2002 IRL Indy Champion, but the battle for second shaping up.
Wardy through his favorite corner there. Chisholm runs wide.
Avard gets in there. Mark Avard, Frankie from Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, the 4-time gold medalist in the
Well, Chisholm had a real difficult time with the double-double. He goes over the berm. He'll still remain in 3rd position. We saw Avard. He's going for the double tabletop, catching some major air off of that. But Chisholm may be experiencing the effects of this high altitude. White flag out, Dave.
Last lap. Here is Jeff Ward, Troy Lee Designs, Honda CRF 450 out of San Juan Capistrano, California. and he is quite the man. A former athlete of the year in the AMA, a sportsman of the year as well, and simply brilliant. And he says the road racing has helped him in Supermoto. Obviously, delicate, precise braking, especially when you come into a couple of these high-speed turns.
Well, you got to notice here that Jeff Ward's basically wearing motocross gear here, but he's trying to get his knee down on the asphalt. Look at him kick out that rear tire. He does it with the downshifting as well as the rear brake, but just textbook Supermoto riding from Jeff Ward.
And why would a man like this even do this? He says it's just so much fun.
It is. I mean, there's soul surfers and there's soul motorcycle racers, and we got all the soul motorcycle racers here. See, Jeff Ward added the knee pucks to his motocross gear. He's the only one that hits off those berms or hay bales. He uses them for a berm. It'll be Wardy taking heat number 1.
After 8 laps of racing, heat race number 1 is in the history books. Top 5 advancing. That would be Jeff Ward, Mark Avard, Josh Chisholm, Mike Metzger, and Jake Zemke. Now let's check in with Ron Kruk, who's with our champion.
All right, winner of heat race number 1, Jeff Ward. How'd it go out there?
That was a little tough. I got a bad start. Got hit a few times, made a couple mistakes, and just playing patient a little bit, and then Metzger went down, and there's just a lot of brake checking going on in the corners. So once I got free and clear, then I got back into my pace. It felt really good.
Avard kept the pressure on you throughout, though.
Yeah, and then once I got clear, I was able to, pull away. So, when the main event comes, there'll be Jeremy up there, a little bit better guy, faster guys that don't have to worry about so much of taking it easy. So we'll be able to get into our pace a little quicker. But I feel good.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. A breathtaking view in more ways than one. Not only it's beautiful, but it's at 9,700 feet above sea level. We're at Copper Mountain, Colorado. Spectacular skiing and snowboarding in the winter, and today it's the Supermoto Classic. Set to go racing, heat race number 2, 8 laps, top 5 advance to the main. Jeremy McGrath, obviously the big gun here, but don't count out Steve Drew or Mark Burkock. Gary Tracy, also a very fast rider. How about David Sadowski? You're with me right here.
Nah, that's
Who's
David
on the track?
Sadowski Jr. He's back on row 2 on the number 21. That's my 15-year-old son. And out here just trying to make the main, and that would be a great accomplishment for David. He's learned quite a bit hanging around with these fast guys, Dave Stanfield.
Yeah, he's been riding at least since he was the age of 2.5.
Yeah, he's got 12 years of experience, but this is the first time for him lining up against the likes of Jeremy McGrath and Jeff Ward and Scott Russell. But we actually train out at Scott Russell's ranch, and David's becoming quite a mature motorcycle racer.
Well, there's your front line, Jeremy McGrath, Thor Red Bull, Fun Bike Center, Honda CRF 450 out of Encinitas, California. Far left-hand side, keep an eye on him, number 2. There's a good shot of him, the 7-time AMA Supercross champion. And alongside him, another very talented person, Stephen Drew, White Brothers, Honda CRF 450 out of Temecula, California, working for White Brothers, doing R&D on exhaust systems, specifically for Honda. And then on his outside, Mark Burkhardt, incredibly fast out of Pickerington, Ohio. He's been racing motocross and supercross for 18 years, and he has shown some blinding speed on this course.
Getting ready to go green here, Dave. Watch what happens down in turn 2. It gets real narrow there.
McGrath gets a good start. Let's see if he can hold his line.
He takes the inside down into turn 2. Steve Drew on the outside. Burkhardt right in there. A little bit of contact amongst the riders. David Sadowski Jr. taking a few positions there. He'll run up into 5th position. Oh, he bogs off the turn, though. He gets a little bit wide.
Oh, some aggressive moves there. Here they come. Your leaders now. This is turn number 6. And then that's turn number 6 right there. Coming in turn number 7. And look at the speed they get.
High-speed road race section here, and it drops off. But big speed here, up into 5th gear. 3 downshifts, sometimes 4 down here. Kick out the rear end. Jeremy McGrath will lead it. Steve Drew in 2nd. 2 different lines, as we said, through the dirt here. Everybody going double-double, except for the 3rd place rider. He decides to go for the tabletop, but McGrath showing the short way around there.
It's McGrath leading Drew and Burkhardt. So it's number 2, number 73, and number 61. Oh boy, the big guns are now starting to pull away.
Very difficult corner there. You see Steve Drew nearly tagging the back wheel of Jeremy McGrath.
Oh, look at this. 1st gear, right? Tapping it all the way down into 1st gear and sliding it in.
Battle for 5th position. Back in the field, battle for 5th position. You see, whoa, a little bit of contact there, intersecting lines. That's the beauty of Supermoto. Very tight battle going on up front. Jeremy McGrath getting pushed pretty hard by Steve Drew. They head through the turn 6 section down into 7. Steve Drew not close enough to make a move over McGrath. Watch these guys kick out the rear end. All 3 riders decide to put a foot out. Some guys will put a knee out through that corner.
Oh, what a battle going on from 5th gear to 1st, and then they've got a section here where it's dirt. They go from the pavement to the dirt in 2 sections. Here's the flat track section here. This would be into turn number 9, and then turn number 10 comes back onto the dirt. There's McGrath, there's Drew, and there's Burkhardt.
Pretty tricky corner right there, Dave. You have to wait till you get over that concrete till you get back on the asphalt, where it's a little more porous, a little coarse, to give you some traction, but the riders are have to delay their throttle drive coming out. But the big spot that we're looking for right now is the number 5th position. That's the last opportunity for these guys to go directly into the main event. Otherwise, you have to go to the semifinals. And man, it takes everything you can to make the main event here at Copper Mountain.
I believe number 641, Travis Marks, out of Lake Elsinore, California, on the bubble in 5th right now. Here they come, the fast, high-speed section, 4th gear, out of turn number 6. They reach 5th gear here, come down into a 1st gear, turn number 7.
Down into 7, hard braking, a little bit of a shaky move there. And into the dirt section, there goes Steve Drew. In through turn 9, very fast left-hand dirt track section. Take a look at your leader, Jeremy McGrath. He's kicking it over turn 10, hard on the throttle. That's the Timex Honda, one of the most meticulously prepared and maintained machines out here. Very fast motorcycle Jeremy McGrath has.
Yeah, you can thank that to Chad Watts, maintaining not only his motorcycle, but Zemke's and Jeff Ward's.
Very busy guy this weekend.
And of course, Troy Lee, part of that whole team. That is the team. Steve Drew currently in 2nd place right now, and they've got some speed going.
One of the biggest characters in the field, too. Steve Drew on the number 73 machine. Martin Burkhardt, another character out there. These guys are just having a ball. Big smiles underneath their helmets, but they love pushing each other. And lap times here, just under 1 minute. Jeremy McGrath and Jeff Ward seem to be the fastest. Steve Drew, he has a very consistent lap time. He's just down on horsepower a little bit.
Well, 357, Gary Tracy, obviously starting back in the pack, has moved up his way through the field, trying to get into that top 5 position. Up front, your leader's McGrath, followed by Drew and Burkhardt. There's McGrath.
Looks like Burkhardt trying to put a little bit of pressure on the 73 of Steve Drew. Burkhardt doesn't need to gain a position. He knows he's solid in the main. Little miscue coming off the hairpin. Up through Horsepower Hill, you see Jeremy McGrath acting like a road racer now, trying to get that knee out. Very interesting to see Jeremy McGrath ride a bike like a super bike with the knee down, but then the foot comes out down here as he kicks it sideways. And these white and red pipes that are on the ground are actually screwed into the ground, so there's no cheating. You have to go around it. And if you actually hit it with the front wheel, it'll take you out.
Tracy currently running in 4th, number 357. I believe it's Travis Marks, 641, currently in 5th, as the rest of the field comes through, and they make the transition from pavement to dirt. This is Alpine Lot A, parking lot during the ski season for Copper Mountain. We're at 9,700 foot elevation, and we're breathing hard.
We had a quick look at the 641 of Travis Marks, but the man of the hour is going to be the 178, and that's Eric Person. He rides for TSR, Top Shelf Racing. Didn't make the main yesterday, but he'd love to make it today.
Take a look. Mark Burkhardt, number 61, Rad Racing DeSanto Yamaha out of Pickerington, Ohio. The Moto crosser aboard the Yamaha YZ450F. Looking to the inside.
As Burkhardt lifting the rear wheel, he's going to get a piece of Steve Drew. Drew knows he's there. He'll get hard on the throttle and try to put a gap. Double for Drew and a lot of speed into the berm.
They take that outside berm now to the flat track section, and this is a lot of speed and fun.
That high berm throws a lot of speed in through this section. I believe it is so slick through here. Very, very hard packed dirt. Got to carry the slide all the way through there. Into 10, Burkhardt, almost a little bit of an endo there. He was not on the throttle at all. Clean sailing out front for Jeremy McGrath.
McGrath out front. These are 1st gear turns, but McGrath has definitely got the acceleration on his Chad Watts tuned machine. 357, Gary Tracy, Fast Company, Honda CRF 450 out of Orange, California, and I believe it's Travis Marks currently rounding out the top 5, number 641, the Honda R&D CRF 450, Lake Elsinore, California. Those are the top 5.
Eric Pinson being pushed back out of that spot. But But this is getting serious right now. You want to make the main, you want to go for it. Burkhardt under Drew. We'll see if Drew has a counterattack move through the double-double section. Burkhardt goes table. This is going to work out good for Drew. We'll see if he pulls out side by side. Nope, Burkhardt gets the throttle on earlier and takes off.
Got to remember, these bikes are made to do everything well, not perfectly. No knobby tires when they go into the dirt. They've got these kind of semi-moto tires, they call them, kind of with the rain cuts, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of grooves.
White flag lap for Jeremy McGrath. Burkhardt and Drew will probably settle down. Drew knows that third place is good enough to get him into the main, but he'd sure like to start on the front row. McGrath wheeling up Horsepower Hill on the Timex Honda, got his knee out. Third gear turn, short shift, fourth gear. Just kind of hang on. Not a whole lot of sliding going on. These guys are taking it pretty easy there through the pavement, but as we see the road racer guys later on, they'll drift the rear wheel out on the under acceleration down through turn 6.
Well, McGrath out front. Drew currently running in second, and it looks like Burkhardt is going to settle for a third at this point.
Burkhardt second. Drew now in third.
Correct, and hopefully there's going to be no more mistakes for those top three. Looking for the other two transfer spots. And it looks like Tracy, number 357, and Marks, number 641, might make the top 5 here.
Tracy and Marks with no real pressure. They'll just cruise in on to the finish. Gary Tracy having a difficult weekend, but I'm sure he's glad he's going to make it into the main. The 641 of Travis Marks. Been hanging with him this weekend. He's a tremendous motocross racer, and he helped with the design of this racetrack.
Heat race number 2, top 5 advanced directly into the main event, and that would be Jeremy McGrath, followed by Burkhardt, Drew, Tracy, and Marks. All 5 into the main event, and let's go down to Ron Kruk with Jeremy McGrath.
Winner of heat race number 2, Jeremy McGrath. Jeremy, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was a great heat race. Got a great start. My FPC Honda's working really well, and sure, the track's a blast. It's fun. It's really high speed. Trying to learn a little bit of the road race style, and yeah, it's working out. It's good.
HDNet is at Copper Mountain, Colorado. Heat race number 3, Supermoto racing at its best. 8 laps, top 5, advanced to the main. And just take a look at the front row as they blaze off the front. Watch for Scott Russell, number 4.
And the 911 of Mike Smith, he's on the outside. Right there, he'll be set up for this hairpin. A little bit of contact there with Pursley. You got to see Pursley go down into turn 7 here. Up front, continuing to make contact. These guys are having a little scrap.
Oh my gosh, take a look at this. Russell, Schwantz, Diamond, Pursley, Gifford, Lively, Smith, Daniels. I mean, a whole host of great riders from all different disciplines.
Great start for the number 43, Micky Diamond, and the 911 of Mike Smith. Micky Diamond, no slouch on the asphalt. You see him backing it in. Mike Smith with his knee out. He runs wide. He's got a problem. 911 out of second position. Looked like Kevin Schwantz takes over that spot. Schwantz going with a double-double. Micky Diamond going for the big motocross style over the tabletop.
Mickey's got to do a little flat tracking right now. The 2-time 125 national motocross champion back in the years of 86 and 87, now 38 years old. Micky Diamond out of Placentia, California on the KTM is our leader.
Scott Russell bringing up the third position. Micky Diamond very smooth through the asphalt section for a motocross guy. He's got it figured out. Matt Pursley, we go take a look at him, the 343. He's on the Yamaha. He's got that bike lowered down, dirt track style, and he is just fabulous to watch down into turn 7. Up front, Micky Diamond.
Diamond on the All-Access KTM team. The 38-year-old is on this big 450 SX machine. Extreme Sports Consultant. He's going to be challenged.
Inside, David Doe. He's going to have a look. He decided to get back around. He's got plenty of time, and this is only the heat races. He needs to make it into the main. Kevin Schwantz playing it real heads up right now.
Schwantz takes that inside line. Diamond on the outside line, little speed. Now watch Kevin Schwantz. Schwantz Suzuki School out of Austin, Texas on the DRZ 400.
And he's under attack now by the number 4 of Scott Russell. He doesn't care about making it into the main. He just wants to pass, guys. It's in his blood. That's all he does.
Scott Russell's so funny. The AMA and World Superbike champion of years past. I said, what do you love? I love dirt. I love pavement. I love to slide.
It's just amazing to see him come back from injury. He was in a horrible accident at Daytona on the starting grid. He got hit about 100 miles an hour. He was at a standstill. But this is a racer through and through. He's got some true grit in him, and to come back into the new sport of Supermoto has been a great thing for his fans to see. And Scott Russell, if he's not racing and riding a motorcycle, he's not a happy camper.
And he's currently in third, coming into this first There's a first gear turn and then off into the dirt
There's
section.
Pursley there, kicking it out sideways, Dave. Just fabulous to watch him into this. And then the important spot we need to watch here is 5th position. And there's a 4-bike battle going for that.
So up front, Micky Diamond, followed by Kevin Schwantz, Scott Russell, and Matt Pursley, currently running in 4th. Fat Boy Racing, Yamaha YZF 450, excuse me, YZ 450F out of St. Louis, Missouri. And he is a AMA National Hare Scrambles guy, as well as a flat track guy.
All kinds of champions rich in the field here at Supermoto Copper Mountain. There's Pursley backing it into turn 2.
Pursley, I asked him, I said, how many Supermotos have you raced? He goes, this is my 10th one, and he loves it.
He's getting it. 96 of Blair Lively. He's on the bubble here to make it into the main, I believe.
Here we go, real fast section here, up to 4th gear between turns 5 and 6, and then down into turn number 7.
Micky Diamond, you see him stomping those gear shifts down. Kevin Schwantz closing it up. Watch Matt Pursley. Backing it all the way in. Just a little bit wide. I've seen him do it a little bit smoother than that. He's coming there a couple of times with his knee on the ground and the foot peg. Basically coming in there like a snow skier would down this Copper Mountain.
And keep an eye for Blair Lively, the Irishman, Scotty Speed Shop, Yamaha YZF 450, Fort Smith, Arkansas, number 96. Yes, he wants to make it into the main event, doesn't want to go to the semis.
And the 39 of Matt Burton, he's got a shot at making it into the main. He's got to pick up his pace a little bit. There's Pursley. Blair Lively going into turn 3 and then up the hill. Riders seem very, very equal out of that turn.
So up turn number 3, they shift up quickly. Sometimes they get up to 4th real quick before they downshift to the slight chicane. That's turn 5 we're looking at. Then up to 4th gear, over to turn number 6. Here comes the speed, downhill. Into turn number 7, they've got to go all the way from 5th to 1st. Look at that slide.
Pursley kicking it out with the foot out now. He's probably not as confident with his tires as he was yesterday. He's got his foot out front now as a conservation measure in case he loses both wheels. Take a look at Micky Diamond through the dirt track section. He's got a very unique line. Schwantz to the inside. Micky Diamond from the outside, banging off those hay bales. Scott Russell trying to make up time on Kevin Schwantz, two of the best motorcycle road racers in the world going at it here at Copper Mountain.
Kevin Schwantz, 39 years old, 5'11", 150 pounds. Schwantz Suzuki School out of Austin, Texas. Yeah, he won his 500 world title in '93.
Okay, you look at Kevin Schwantz with an inside line there. He's got him down into turn 6. Pretty simple. He made that look too easy. Micky Diamond having to fall to the clutches of a serious road racer.
Well, Mickey says, I'm a motocrosser. Get me on some dirt. Well, one more turn, you'll be on dirt.
Scott Russell with a miscue there. He had to lock up the wheel. It closed up a lot of speed. It closed up a lot of distance on Micky Diamond.
Oh, Diamond all over him on that outside berm. Down to the flat track section.
Diamond with a good drive off that high berm. Kevin Schwantz maybe going to use that inside line now to defend, but this is where Micky Diamond makes up time to get back onto the asphalt. But no, Schwantz setting sail and taking a boogie. He's on out front, pulling out about 10 bike length lead.
Oh boy, the 1980 Daytona champion. Yes, there's a couple Daytona champions here. He raced professionally from 85 to 95.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh my gosh.
Scott Russell almost high sides in turn 3.
He had a little problem in turn number 7. Now, just about Scott Russell's having fun, going all out, but I don't think he likes 3rd place right now.
No, he's just trying to get on the throttle as best he could to try to outpower Micky Diamond up into the pavement section, and I think he may be running out of time. Take a look at it. Scott Russell into turn 3. He's setting up Micky Diamond for the drive out. He's got it backed in, and then hard on the throttle. The rear end just steps out and says, Scott, I can't take that much throttle. Be easy on me.
I'm thinking that's a little better than a high side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pursley, we've been talking about Pursley in the back of this 3-man pack, Schwantz, Diamond, and Russell right now. Russell's gained back up all over Diamond right now. Russell to the inside.
He takes over the 2nd spot. Micky Diamond for the white flag lap. Very tough place to pass. Very tight line through there. We'll see if Scotty can maintain that pace he's had with an open track out in front.
1 lap to go. White flag is flying for everybody. It's now or never. Schwantz out front. Schwantz heading to turn number 5. A slight chicane there. And it looks like it could be Matt Pursley.
It is in 4th position.
We've talked about Pursley and his sliding. And you know what? He's only had 2 years of flat track experience or dirt track experience. He's basically a hare scrambler.
He's going somewhere every weekend, though. His learning curve is pretty sharp. I believe that's the 96 of Blair Lively. He's out of Arkansas on the Yamaha, the Scotty Speed Shop Yamaha. He'll make it to the main. Take a look at Schwantz through the dirt track section.
Last turn, looking for a checkered flag. And there it is, one last jump onto the pavement, looking for that checkered right off the right. There's the checkered flag for Kevin Schwantz.
Got to be a relief for Kevin. He did not make the main at Laguna Seca, and he's breathing a sigh of relief right now. Scotty Russell, he'll make it into the main, as well as Micky Diamond, Matt Pursley, and Blair Lively.
Now let's check in with Ron Kruk with Kevin Schwantz.
Kevin, great race. That one looked fun.
It really was. You know, having a front row start and then being able to assess the guys that you're racing with and not having to work through about a third or fourth row start makes a huge difference, especially in this type of environment.
Russell kept the pressure on you, though, throughout.
Yeah, I could hear him back there. I knew he was coming. I had a little opportunity to get by Mickey, and I thought I better make the most of it. Didn't need to make any mistakes after that because Scott would have been right there to pounce.
Yeah, he would have. Any moments out there?
Not really. You know, I tried some different lines through the dirt. I tried the double, double, double inside. Yeah, that's really good for the perfectionist, which I am not over the jumps. So I went back to the tabletop on the outside. It seemed to be what most of that heat was doing. So, yeah, worked good. Hopefully we got a little bit more left to match those guys that ran up front in those other two heats.
You got it. We'll see you in the finals.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ron. We are moments away from the main event, and before we get to the main event, let's take a look at semifinal heat race number 1 results. Top 3 moved into the main event, and it was Burton, Pinson, and Biava making that transfer, along with the 3 riders in heat number 2, Smith, Gifford, and Lee. Troy Lee making it into the main event as well. So we have 21 riders for a 20-lap main event. $20,000 purse. Let's take a look at the RPM presents the Fay-Meyer Suzuki Supermoto Classic Grid. There we go, some big names. Ward, McGrath, Schwantz, Avard.
Back to row 2s, headed off by Mark Berthart, then Scott Russell, Josh Chisholm, Steve Drew on the 73. He's a motocrosser, he'll be jamming.
How about Micky Diamond, Mike Metzger, Gary Tracy. And then there's Matt Pursley.
Back to the next row, headed off by Jake Zemke, then Travis Marks, Blair Lively, and Mike Smith on the 911.
Matt Burton, Mark Gifford. There's Eric Pinson and Troy Lee.
Finally, on the back row of the grid, the 511 Don Biava, the CHP, who's used to riding BMWs, right, Dave?
And Ski, congratulations to, well, you had 2 boys racing, just about making it in, Dave Jr. into this event.
Yeah, Troy Lee edging out Dave Jr. right at the line, about a half a wheel, but it was a great experience for these guys, and I'm sure they're going to go home, train harder, and learn how to go faster.
Okay, let's keep an eye on this front grid here. Obviously, Jeff Ward is one to watch. Jeff says he doesn't get the best starts. He is number 3. Right next to him, Jeremy McGrath, the 31-year-old 7-time Supercross champion, is one to watch at the starts. But how about on pavement, Kevin Schwantz?
Kevin Schwantz is really serious when they get to the pavement section, and he's no slouch in dirt tracking either. This left-hander down through the infield section at turn 9, pretty tricky. But the real challenge here, it's kind of a rivalry amongst teammates. The number 2, Jeremy McGrath, he's a whole shot master, but Jeff Ward, he's vowing to beat Jeremy McGrath off the line here for this main event number 2 at the Copper Mountain Supermoto Classic.
Well, their engines are running, and they're checking that everybody's up and running. Now they're going to drop it in gear. Look how serious they are. Here we go, the main event, and we're off.
Keep your eye on the 94, Mark Avard. He's got the starting position on the outside. We'll see if he can snake around here and be set up for turn 3. He's running in second place right now.
Ward is 5th off the line. Avard, the Australian, looks like he moves into the 2nd spot.
Everybody clean through turn 3, Dave, up Horsepower Hill into the chicane area. Here's where the road racers will excel.
That is Jeremy McGrath out front, I believe. Here we go with lots of speed. It's anybody's game right now, trying to complete the first half lap.
Mike Smith on the 911 making a move up the inside. He'll move up into 4th position. Big wipeout.
That's Micky Diamond going down right in front of us at turn number 7, and he gets up, and there's another couple of bruises and bangs, but out front it is McGrath. Keep an eye on him, and Schwantz, I believe, is in tow.
Schwantz in 2nd. Taking a look at Steve Drew back there in 3rd. Jeremy McGrath onto the asphalt. We'll see if the 500cc Grand Prix road racing champion Kevin Schwantz can make up time on the Supercross star Jeremy McGrath into the turn 3 area. lot of horsepower to get up this hill. You can see the Timex Honda of Jeremy McGrath has a lot of grunt.
Well, we're looking at them coming at top speed now on this portion of the course. Here where they get up to 4th gear. One final two.
Mike Smith around Steve Drew up into 3rd position. Watch Mike Smith. He's been practicing Supermoto at his house. He's a road racer, but he's got this Supermoto stuff dialed in. Watch him back it in down in here to turn 7. 2 lines we talked about earlier through the dirt section here. McGrath going for the double up onto the table. Mike Smith going double-double to the lower berm. Kevin Schwantz just barely keeping Jeremy McGrath in sight, but McGrath edging out a little bit of distance each lap.
McGrath out front, into 1st gear, he says, then he accelerates quickly. There's Kevin Schwantz in 2nd. And is that Smith in 3rd?
Smith in 3rd, followed by Steve Drew. A heck of a battle going on for the 3rd position. Oh, and he makes contact with Drew. That'll slow him down. Mike Smith getting pretty aggressive out there. He's headed for the front.
Well, we saw him in the semifinals. He had to move his way through, and yes, he is an aggressive rider. We're talking about Mike Smith out of Conyers, Georgia, 15th-year pro road racer, and he is all over the track making it work.
Do not see Jeremy McGrath. He's had some trouble. It's Kevin Schwantz, our new leader. Mike Smith in tow. Steve Drew right in there. And then the 94 of Avard. But Jeremy McGrath has had some trouble on course. Schwantz through the dirt section.
Here comes Kevin Schwantz, followed by Mike Smith. Number 73 is Stephen Drew, top 1, 2, and 3.
This is going to shake up to be a really close finish here. Kevin Schwantz and Mike Smith are so equal on their lap time. Steve Drew, no slouch whatsoever. He would love to win a Copper Mountain Supermoto Classic.
And look at this. Here is bike number 3. Well, way at the end of the field, we can see him coming around.
This is, nobody could have predicted this today, that the Timex Honda team, Troy Lee Designs effort, with Jeremy McGrath now in last position, had a miscue up on the pavement. Waving yellow flags now in the chicane, but it's a heck of a battle up front between Kevin Schwantz and Mike Smith.
Here comes Schwantz, serious braking.
And Avard are now around Steve Drew. We'll see how these guys match up through the motocross section. Schwantz going for the double-double to the table job. The big berm.
Oh, look at this. Your running order. Kevin Schwantz on the Schwantz Suzuki School, number 34, the Suzuki DRZ 400 out of Austin, Texas, followed by Mike Smith, MotoBrutalic.com, Yamaha 450F out of Conyers, Georgia, number 911. Then comes Mark Avard, the wonder from down under, Newcastle, Australia's number 94 Pacifico Supermoto team.
You see 2 different riding styles up front. Schwantz now going to the knee-down style, right as I said that. But these guys are actually going to full superbike style of racing on the pavement section. Good look at Jeremy McGrath now trying to make a recovery from his miscue.
Schwantz out front. Schwantz, number 34, stands in at 5'11", 150 pounds, 39 years old, the 1993 500 World Grand Prix Road Race champion. That's Schwantz. Smith is all over him. Then comes Mark Avard from Australia, the 4-time gold medalist in the ISDT. And then Burkhardt. Burkhardt's moving up quick as well.
Schwantz really not able to put a gap on Mike Smith. You see Smith kind of cut the apex a little bit earlier here, but knee-down style. This is 4th gear, about 85 miles an hour. Up into 5th gear. Watch these guys stomp the downshifts. There's Mike Smith having a notion up the inside.
Oh, my. Smith is so aggressive. He's got the fringe coming off his leathers, and he just looks like he is flying.
You see him sizing up Kevin Schwantz. Mike Smith trying to pick his spot on the racetrack where he's going to make a move on Kevin Schwantz. They're very equal through here. I think Mike Smith under braking, he may have an advantage down that back chute. We'll see if Mike Smith can keep Kevin Schwantz in a zone right now where he might be able to attack him and put the move on him.
And these turns right here down to 1st gear, so critical. You can either make a mistake or you can make a lot of time on somebody.
A lot of the guys using the clutch coming off that turn too to get the RPMs up in the peak torque range. Mike Smith close enough here on the inside. Dave, we'll see if he makes a move into 7th.
Here comes the speed now. Take a look at this turn, and he is sizing them up like you said. He looks to the outside.
Kevin Schwantz over defending the top at turn 6, but able to maintain the lead. Here goes Mike Smith. had a shot at him, but he's being patient, Dave.
Well, you know, Mike Smith's going to make him work and maybe late break on that outside, then tuck it to the inside, and a great move on his part, or at least attempt.
Well, we showed you the tires on these motorcycles at the beginning of the show, and it just takes one small miscue on the dirt for these things to break loose and fall down. Both of these riders have been on the dirt over a dozen times this weekend during practice and qualifying, so any kind of pressure you can put on the leader is going to force him into a possible mistake, and that's what Mike Smith's doing right now.
Well, you're watching RPM's presentation of the Fay Suzuki Supermoto Classic here, Copper Mountain, Colorado on HDNet, and it is Schwantz out front, followed by Smith, Avard, Drew, then comes Burkhardt. It's just quite a battle in this. The big news here is that two of the front runners are out of it, or at least they're in the back of the pack, and that would be Jeff Ward, and that would be Jeremy McGrath, working their way back up through the pack. Here we go. Here's that inside turn here, turn number 7.
Mike Smith not even trying to take a look up the inside. He's content to follow Kevin Schwantz. Schwantz will turn around and look at him, and believe me, to have Mike Smith following you, everybody knows he's quite a character, but he's so aggressive. And in the closing stages, he won't resist, let's say, maybe throwing an elbow to take the lead and win this huge event.
It's Schwantz leading Smith. Right behind them, the Australian Avard, and then comes Burkhardt. Burkhardt has overtaken Drew. So those are your top 5 right now.
You see these guys using a lot of body English. Look at Avard right there, backing it in. Just beautiful riding from him. Burkhardt in 4th position, but here's the battle up front as they go into the chicane. Watch Mike Smith. He's able to pull his motorcycle down here, take an inside line, lets it drift out wide. He sets up Kevin Schwantz here down the hill. Knees down, dragging on the off-camber turn 6. Mike Smith with a little wheel spin off of that corner. Not going to be able to make the move on Kevin Schwantz, the number 34 rider into turn 7.
Kevin Schwantz, the 1993 500cc Grand Prix road race champion, up against another champion, a road racer of 15 years, number 2 on the all-time list of the 600 Super Sport. That's Mike Smith. No change in the last several laps, so we're keeping an eye on these guys in the lead. They're putting on quite a show.
It's quite an achievement to win one of these events. It's all the disciplines of motorcycle racing. Road racing, dirt track, any kind of TT, enduro, trials, all of it has to be done perfectly, and it's all combined in one event, in one arena, Supermoto.
A little bobble or miscue by Mike Smith right there. Keep an eye on Avard, too. He might be closing. Our 3rd place rider, number 94, Pacifico Supermoto team out of Australia. We're on lap number 10, halfway through.
This high elevation, Dave, at 9,700 feet, it really takes it out of these riders. You got to make a conscious effort to just keep breathing, filling up your lungs with oxygen.
There's that turn 7. All over him. This is just as close as you can get. So it's Schwantz still leading Smith, Avard and Burkhardt battling for 3rd spot right now.
Mike Smith in a little trouble off the high berm section. He loses about 3 bike lengths. There's a big bump and a big rock right there at turn 9. It upsets the chassis. The riders have to dial out of the throttle.
And turn 1's kind of a chicane right there. Here's would be turn 1. That was turn 10. Now onto this pavement. We're in the parking lot here at Copper Mountain, the ski resort. And it goes from pavement to dirt. This is turn 3. And they've got this little chicane here to slow them up as they approach 5. So it's called turn 4. It's a little twist in the armor there.
Well, Danny Walker designed this racetrack, as we've mentioned, and the only Achilles heel that he says is that he really didn't want to have to put a chicane in there on the asphalt section. The Superbike guys wanted to go in there full speed, but there's a medical building right on the outside of that turn, and it was just too high of a speed. We had to reduce the speeds going in there in case somebody would involuntarily make it into the medical center, probably through the window.
Well, congratulations to our race directors, Danny Walker and Cameron Gray, and our starter, great job, Kurt Conquest. What a staff. Everybody pulled together, put this event on high in the Rockies at 9,700 feet. They're breathing heavy here right now because this is not an easy task, especially for Kevin Schwantz. At 39 years old, he is pumped up, but he is working hard. Let's drop back to the battle for 3rd. Mark Avard from Australia, the 4-time gold medalist in the International 6 Days. Then Mark Burkhardt,
Mike
number
Smith
61.
down in turn 2. He falls out of 2nd position, so Avard will take over the 2nd spot, Dave. And the 61 of Burkhardt, it's the 2 marks. Mark Avard and Mark Burkhardt take over 2nd and 3rd position. Mike Smith having trouble getting the big 4-stroke started. That's another thing you don't want to do in Supermoto is stall your bike. These things have got a lot of compression, and it takes a solid right leg to kickstart these babies and get them back running.
Kevin Schwantz into turn number 7. We've got Mark Avard, number 94. And number 61. Yeah, we got a good battle for the 73. Stephen Drew currently in 4th. White Brothers, Honda CR4 CRF 450 looking
He's
strong.
down. Almost. He saved it.
And some wild action through the whoops and back to our leaders, Schwantz, number 34.
Take a look at Mark Burkhardt in through the turn 2 section. There goes Schwantz through there, waving yellow flag on the course there, so no passing allowed. AMA Superbike rules essentially working here this weekend for the Supermoto Classic at Copper Mountain. Schwantz with a huge lead right now. He's getting a pit signal down near the start-finish line. So Schwantz, the man with no errors so far in his riding strategy, enjoying a huge lead right now.
Well, number 34 on his machine, the only number to be retired in the 500cc Grand Prix racing with that number. Just an awesome rider out of Austin, Texas. At 39 years old, Kevin Schwantz now doing a little motoing. Motocross, he takes the high berm. And it looks like Burkhardt now has moved up to third. So it is Schwantz number 34 followed by...
Take a look at this in the double-double section. Steve Drew gets crossed up and nails a bill. You want to see a strong rider? This guy's got some pipes on him. He saves it. Scott Russell goes by, and now he'll take over the 4th position. But Steve Drew with a huge save. He'll see if he can strike back at Scott Russell. As Kevin Schwantz continues to lead up through the turn 5 area.
The battle for second, Mark Avard, Pacifico Supermoto team out of Newcastle, Australia. Number 94, Mark Burkhardt, Rad Racing, DeSanto Yamaha out of Pickerington, Ohio. Number 61. That is such a tight turn, first gear. Then they got to actually make their way onto the dirt. They've got a choice of taking the double-doubles, kind of the whoop-de-doo section, or going the tabletop. Then into the flat track section.
Mark Avard, you can see he's trying to dial it up and pull away from Burkhardt. He does not want to have to expend any energy fighting with a guy, so it's best for him to just put his head down right now, break away. Here's a good look at the number 4, the G, Scott Russell going at it in Supermoto.
Scott Russell, American Super Camps, Honda CRF 450 out of Conyers, Georgia, the 92 Superbike champion for the AMA and the 93 World Superbike champion. Yeah, he's looking good. Lap number 15 now.
Good look at Steve Drew coming through with a great recovery, and Metzger following him through. Mike Metzger, the number 875 rider. Kevin Schwantz already getting into some lap traffic. And that's Eric Pinson on the TSR, Top Shelf Racing, Honda. Just barely making it into the semis, but relatively new to Supermoto.
Kevin Schwantz, number 34, Schwantz Suzuki School, Suzuki DRZ 400. If you go to school, can you ride like him?
Oh yeah, man. Kevin Schwantz, one of the best instructors in America, teaching all kinds of skill levels out at the Road Atlanta, Kevin Schwantz Suzuki School. Kevin also a consultant to the Suzuki road racing effort, coaching the likes of Ben Spies and Aaron Yates. I don't know how much he can contribute to Matt Mladen's riding. It's flawless. But a huge lead right now for Kevin Schwantz.
So to make the podium, well, 1, 2, or 3, Schwantz out in front, followed by Mark Avard from Australia and Mark Burkhardt from Ohio. And who's been moving up very fast? Scott Russell.
Eric Pinson, be a sport here and move out of the way. Let the 2nd and 3rd place riders through.
Up and over the motocross section of the course into those berms. Everybody seems to be taking the outside berm.
Get a little bit of better drive off that high berm through the dirt track section. You want to carry momentum through here. Try not to spin the wheels too much. A lot of guys opting for DOT 17-inch tires on their machines here. Of course, Jeremy McGrath and Jeff Ward, who were favored to win this event, they stayed with DOT tires all weekend. Kevin Schwantz, he's got a blend and a mix of a cut DOT tire. He seems to have the best setup here today.
Well, when we saw Micky Diamond go down in that first lap melee, we thought he was last. And after lap 2, 3, and 4, things changed, and Ward and McGrath both disappeared. Schwantz now coming up on lappers. Schwantz now moving up on, looks like Troy Lee, 2nd and 3rd. Number 94 is in 2nd. That is Mark Avard from Australia and Mark Burkhardt, number 61 out of Ohio. 4th place, how about this? What a ride. Scott Russell. Look at this battle.
Mike Metzger and Steve Drew going at it for 5th position. And they're trying to make time on Scott Russell, but a heck of a battle right now, going through just behind Scott Russell. Scotty with a third place finish in main event number 1. Metzger, another really aggressive rider out here. He's a great Supermoto pilot.
Superbikers had a race in Long Beach a while back. Metzger won, well, put on quite a show there. So did Ward as well. Metzger, you know him as Team Zoo York Honda, ECC, Escondido Cycle Center, the godfather of freestyle. He currently is running in the 6th spot. Lap number 18, just a couple more laps to go. Kevin Schwantz out front, followed by Mark Avard, Mark Burkhardt, Scott Russell, Stephen Drew, and Mike Metzger.
Metzger pulling clear of Steve Drew. Take a quick look at Kevin Schwantz, spinning the tire out of turn 10. Trying to conserve his tire the best way he can. Kevin Schwantz really not backing it in too strong into turns 2 and 3. Road racing it through there. Takes a look across, got a huge lead going on.
Well, there's some veterans out there. Kevin Schwantz himself raced it from 85 to 95 professionally. A couple of years and won his title, his main title, the 500 World Championships in road racing, 93. Now 39. He's got a lot of energy and love for this sport, Supermoto. Currently in second, another man with a lot of experience, 34-year-old Mark Avard.
Scott Russell backing it in huge into turn 7. He knows Metzger's going to try to make it a race for the finish. Metzger going to the tabletop.
Here we go, Russell number 4. Metzger 875.
He's close enough to strike at him, Dave, and he's going for it. He can smell Russell's exhaust up front.
Well, Metzger has paid his dues, we'll say, in all forms of racing, but he loves this right now, concentrating on this event.
Kevin Schwantz up through the turn 6 area. Got the knee out. Coming up on the 641 of Travis Marks, motocross racer out here at Copper Mountain, developing his skills in Supermoto.
Kevin Schwantz, last lap, looking for a checkered flag.
Think about Metzger, everybody's standing over at the tabletop yelling, backflip, do the backflip.
Yeah. There he is, number 34, Kevin Schwantz on a Suzuki DRZ 400 out of Austin, Texas.
Schwantz just with a flawless ride here today, putting his wheels exactly where he wants, wheelies across the line. Huge win for him. He's going to be super happy. He's had struggle. Didn't even make the main event at Laguna Seca. Here's Metzger fighting to the finish, looking for Scott Russell. Just up ahead, Metzger bangs off the bail and says, that gave it all I could. Scott Russell had just too much for him today.
And across the finish line, we think, yes, Schwantz, followed by Avard, Burkhardt, maybe Russell, and Metzger.
Mark Avard's crew coming out to celebrate an awesome run out of him. We'll have to keep our eye on future Supermoto events with Mark Avard in there. A few more development tricks on the Suzuki, and he'll be right up there with Kevin Schwantz.
Let's take a look at the final results. Our top 5, Kevin Schwantz, our winner today, followed by Mark Avard, Mark Burkhardt, Scott Russell, and Mike Metzger round out the top 5. What happened to McGrath and Ward?
McGrath with a tough day on the asphalt, tucking the front end. Just a miscue and very uncharacteristic of him. Jeff Ward was never a factor, got bottled up on the start. But Supermoto, what a great event here at Copper Mountain.
Right now, let's check in with the third member of our team, Ron Kruk.
Great win for you today.
Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. We had to start in the back because we didn't have any points, but we got good starts from the result we got yesterday, and we just made the most of it. Got lucky, we got a good start, made a smart move around the outside here in the second turn. I think there was a bit of a bobble there, and it got me out front, almost. Jeremy, and I saw that, and I had to take a big, long look at it because I had never seen that guy make a mistake. So, it was good to see when I came back around that he was up and out of there. He's probably a little skin up, but it was a great race. The Yoshimura Suzuki worked great. All the people that got behind us early on, it's perfect.
Dave Sadowski, our champion Kevin Schwantz, has to be excited.
He sure is, and it's kind of fitting, Dave, that the Fay Meyer Suzuki Supermoto Classic being grabbed by the Suzuki riders both the top 2 finishers on Suzuki. Lots of action. We got to see the fans just lined up around this place. They loved it. I loved it. Hats off to Danny Walker and everybody that put forth a monumental effort to put forth such a great Supermoto race.
Our champion today, number 34, Kevin Schwantz out of Austin, Texas. On behalf of Ron Kruk, I'm David Stanfield and my partner, Dave Sadowski. So long from Copper Mountain, Colorado on HDNet.